it's a bit. It's in terms of elevation up to turn one. It kind of goes flat and then just up.
Yeah.
It's like a big. It's a big up. It's a big change. So into the start and in general, it's obviously a long straight. Mercedes have always Mercedes engines in general are always better on the straights most of the
Yeah.
time than all these other cars, right? So off the start, Lewis had a better start than Max. So into turn one, he's kind of had that inside line, pushes Max wide, leaves Lewis first. Is that when when it's a hot race, like this takes a serious advantage on the tires because if it gets too hot, they start losing grip a lot faster.
So is it a case of they got to change tires like 3 times maybe?
It's a two stop. It was a two-stop race because like it was generally that hot. So people were pitting on mediums and hards a lot earlier. Like I think, for example, with Max, he was on mediums and he pitted lap 10. This race was more strategy than who's just a faster car, who's a better driver. Like while Red Bull were faster, they were also like strategically smarter because they forced and they played the undercut on Lewis and Mercedes really well here. And for context, the undercut is kind of boxing early to kind of draw out your opponent, and then eventually when they kind of box, you just leapfrog them. Like, the main reason Max won is because they hit back markers. And for context, when you hit the back markers, it means obviously you get past drivers, and then you kind of have to start lapping drivers. So I think what gave Max the edge in terms of the end of the race is that he got DRS off the back marker of Mick Schumacher, because otherwise Lewis had caught up to him and would have probably overtaken him in the straight. Max had DRS on that like sort of start finish straight, which pulled him ahead of Lewis, which then kind of killed like any chance Lewis really had of overtaking. Because